the stillness, we find wisdom.
In reflection, we find growth.
Welcome to Soulful Reflections, conversations for the soul,
and lessons for life.
Whether you're searching for personal growth,
a little inspiration, or finding peace in the chaos,
you have come to the right place.
I'm Katharina.
And I'm Peter Gay.
And together,
we will explore life's beauty,
challenges, and everything in between.
Let's begin this beautiful journey.
Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to today's episode of Soulful Reflections. I'm Katharina.
And I'm Peter Gay.
And we are so excited that you are able to join us for another episode where we can breathe, reflect, and reconnect with what truly matters.
Definitely.
On today's episode, PG,
what are we talking about
we'll
today?
be speaking about the art of saying no and setting boundaries.
Let me drink some water for that, girl.
The art of saying no and setting boundaries. So we often sometimes hear the phrase of, we need to set boundaries. We need to set boundaries. But I do believe that we should ask ourselves, what are boundaries?
Yep, definitely.
So when we think of boundaries, they're not just physical walls, but they're actually limits that we set for ourselves in order to protect our values, our emotions, our time, our energy, and our overall well-being.
Right.
And one of the things we realize is that boundaries and being able to say no, they are closely related. They are closely related.
Yeah.
Because when you think of it, boundaries can be the limit that we set, but no is the action that we use to keep those boundaries in place. And if we actually don't set boundaries and practice the art of saying no, then it becomes unclear for individuals where the line should be drawn in terms of how we should be treated, in terms of how expectations should be met. And the list goes on and on and on. So today we're going to dive in a bit more in those two areas. And we hope that at the end of this episode, you, our viewers, are able to grab something and get something from this topic. So we're going to go ahead and jump straight into it. So PG, why do you think it's so hard sometimes for us as individuals to say no?
It can be, everyone's situation is different. Okay. And I think it can be a lot of reasons. It can be fear, actually. It can be fear, different types of fear, actually. It can be fear of disappointing someone.
Yeah.
Also, people pleasing. So you fear not being liked.
Right.
You know, and then go into an extreme, like if you are in like keeping the peace.
Yeah.
Right? If you picture like a very heated or situation, so to speak, and you know, it could be hard to say no because you want to keep the peace. You know, those are some of the things that come to mind. Yeah, that comes to mind. What about you? What do you?
Yeah, you listed like pretty much some really good ones. In addition to add to what you said, I would also think that it could be hard to say no when, let's say, for example, your environment, you don't see individuals in your environment setting boundaries and actually saying no. So it could be one that you were raised in that environment, that was something not foreign to you. So then for you now, it's like, okay, just do as I say, just do as someone says, without you feeling, hey, I don't really want to do this, but because it's like, okay, you have to do this or whatever is the case, I believe that can be contributing factors to it.
Right.
as well.
So you don't want to say no, like if like growing up like a child. You know, some households, saying no can be just like you're being disobedient.
Right.
Right. And then that's too how children grow up and want to like people please. They don't know how to say no because growing up, parents or whoever they grew up with never allow them to say no. So they feel they have to say yes or else punishment. But one more thing, Do you think it is easier or harder
Mhm.
for women to say no versus men?
In what aspect? Break
In
that down for me. In
in
what
in, in
aspect?
the sense of how would you say, like, women in some
Mhm.
cultures, women are seen as, you have to kumbaya,
Yeah.
kind of go with the flow,
Okay,
you know, y-
that aspect. Okay.
yeah, kind of like go with the flow.
Mhm.
You have to be a lady, and if it's like it's like in the corporate world, like they would say, like a man and a woman could do the same thing, but for a man, he would be looked at, oh, he's strong, he's powerful, but a female, if she does the
Gender
same thing,
expectation.
yeah, like,
Gender expectation. I think in certain cultures, yeah. I would like
so even Eastern.
believe so that that gender expectation it's more
Mm-hmm.
where the women are easygoing and it's almost like it can appear from the outside looking in
Mm-hmm.
that they probably don't have a say in
Right.
certain areas. I also think having a low self-esteem as well
Yes.
plays a big role
Yes.
in terms of your ability to
Yes.
say no. That confidence that may not be there in yourself, and it's like, you know what, I don't want to be looked at any differently. I want to be able
That's
to
a
fit
big
in.
one.
So I do believe that low self-esteem is one other factor that can contribute to it being hard for someone to say no.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Kathy, is it hard for you to say no?
I would say when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
as a teen, it was hard for me to say no. And not because I didn't see anybody not modeling, setting their boundaries, but I think it was because I really was just, I really felt the need just to be a nice person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think at first you start out feeling a bit
Weird.
shaky
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
nervous.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Having to say it is like, oh, but then after a while, when you continue to practice it and put it in place, it flows off a little bit more naturally off of
Just
the tongue.
rolls.
Yeah, yeah. It flows. It flows. It flows.
It
It
comes
flows.
easy. Practice make perfect, they
Mhm,
say.
mhm.
Practice make perfect, they
Start
say.
saying no even while you're fearful.
Exactly.
I would say that. And
Exactly.
for you, PG?
Exactly. I think it's similar
Okay.
to you. I like helping people.
Mhm.
Naturally, I like be naturally in my
Yeah.
natural. But of course, there will be moments that you don't want to. You don't feel like you're not in the mood, and
Mhm.
um, that's okay.
Yeah.
So over time now, and of course also there's a little people pleasing in there,
Mhm.
a little sprinkle of people
Yeah. Yeah.
pleasing in there a little bit. But over time, you learn that, for instance, or like let's say you are nice or you are kind,
Mhm.
and you feel like if you say no, people will think that you're not kind or you're
Right.
not nice,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But two things can exist at the same. Two things can be true at the
At the
same
same time.
time.
Mhm.
So you can be kind and still say no. You can be kind and still not let people take advantage of
Right.
you.
Exactly.
One
Exactly.
doesn't cancel out the other.
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree.
and I'm learning that. So just like you as well.
Mhm.
And also you can say no politely. I would really love to, but at this time I can't.
Right. Right.
So for me, that's how I say my no. I don't just say a no. Like no, but I would no.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. I agree. I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Oh, I handle it.
Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you said yes, but you really wanted to say no? If you can recall.
I can. I can. Yeah, when my son doesn't want me pick him up and I want to sleep. When he goes out and he's like, I really want to say no because I don't want to leave my house.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I love him, so I do it.
Do it.
But I really want to say no.
But I feel you. I feel you. Because once you're in, sometimes it's like you don't want to go back
Yeah,
out.
you don't want to drive on the road and stuff like that. So I would say he probably gonna kill me, watch me side eye when he sees this. But yeah, that's like, you don't do nothing for the kids. The kids, they gotta go here, they gotta go there. You say yes because you're thinking about them, but you
Yeah.
really wanna say no. What about you?
I
When
think
was
for
the last
me, the last time I could recall
time?
was I think there was something happening on a Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And I love my Sunday naps.
Uh-huh.
So I said yes, but I really wanted to say no because I was gonna miss my Sunday nap.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, everyone who knows me really
Naps
well,
are
they know
essential
that
though.
Sunday naps, not just naps, but Sunday naps,
Mhm.
they hit different. For me personally, something about a
Especially
Sunday
after
nap.
church.
After church, after the meal,
Listen,
you get that nap in.
I feel you. I agree. I agree. I with you 100%.
Seriously, so I would say that's the last time I could recall, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. And what were you afraid would happen if you said no
Well,
with your son?
yeah, I was just gonna say, using that
Yeah.
same example, you may think like, I'm not a good mom.
Mm.
Yeah. And I don't want my kids to ever think or feel that. You
Mhm.
know, like, God, you can't do this for me, that type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, in the moment, even though but those of us that are moms, we know
Mhm.
we are our toughest critics and we
Yeah.
always feel we can do better and we always feel like we're not doing our best.
Right, right.
Most moms are like that, you know, they call it the mom guilt. So yeah, that would be
It for you?
yeah,
That's
that would be it for
understandable.
me. Yeah.
That'll be understandable.
Would you say, do you think saying do you think it's taught saying no
Mhm.
is wrong? Is that taught? Because sometimes saying no can seem like it's wrong. Like we shouldn't say no. Do you think that how does one how would you say we like develop that thinking? Like is that taught
Mm.
directly or indirectly?
You know, that's a good one.
Mhm.
I feel like it could differ according to cultures,
Yeah.
backgrounds, environments.
Mhm. Mhm.
I could just speak for the environment and culture that I know of. For me, I would think that it can be taught not as wrong per se in certain situations, but sometimes you know that we should be able to compromise
Right.
as individuals. We shouldn't always want things to be our way,
Right.
depending on certain relationships and
Mhm.
so forth.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
want to be able to compromise
Mhm.
some.
Mhm.
So then it's like if you continuously keep saying no, it may be like, okay, but you always want your way. You know, like you may not be seen as someone who really appreciates all of
Mhm.
the other
Mhm.
individual. So I would say, um, from that angle, it can be taught
Mhm.
that you not being willing to compromise on that level can be seen as wrong
Mhm. Mhm.
indirectly, that type of way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I think it's
but
taught indirectly. In
yeah,
most cases.
in indirectly in that type of way. And yeah.
In most cases, because I even had a situation just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Let me use my kids again. For example, sometimes like if they're eating something,
Mm-hmm.
they might not want to share, you know, and you maybe ask them and they'll be like, no man, don't take nothing, you know? And sometimes we be like, oh my gosh, you can't be kind, you can't share your food. That's kind of like indirectly telling
Yeah.
them, so sometimes I push back because I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
share. But then sometimes I allow them to say the no and I settle
Mm-hmm.
with it and I say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, cool, no problem, walk away because that is how indirectly,
You also teach them that saying no is
right, like,
okay.
right, because also it's your food or
Mm-hmm.
your thing. And
Mm-hmm.
if you in that moment don't want to share,
Right.
it's okay. Now, if you're unkind on a regular note, that's a
That's
different
different.
story.
That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's really
in the
different.
moment, if
Mm-hmm.
you feel like, like sometimes I buy something that I know they would like and I sit in the car and I eat it before I go home. Come in my share. You understand? I'm just saying, yeah, moms, y'all know. I'm telling the truth. You eat it before you reach home because either you maybe don't have enough money. Like, no, I'm treating myself. Yeah. Kathy just was like, but it's the truth.
No, but you
Y'all
being
know.
honest, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Maybe when I become a mom, I'll also do the same thing too. And then I'll be like, okay, I see what Peter is talking about.
Lord, spare our lives so that you will come back and tell me this.
No, for real. But now that we touched a bit of the no part,
Yeah.
we're gonna touch a bit on the boundaries part.
Mhm.
Um, what areas of your life currently need stronger boundaries, you would say?
Mm. Um, actually, I'm not doing too bad there.
Okay.
I'm not doing too bad there because I boundaries has been a hot word
Okay.
for me within the last 2 years because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I had much. So lately, I've been between last year to now, I've been setting them
Okay.
and holding, for the most part, firm.
Okay.
And for me, that's good, right? Like, how would you say? Like, for instance, like if now
Mm-hmm.
if I feel overwhelmed or I'm dealing with a lot of challenges and I
Yeah.
feel like, okay, I really can't commit now to this particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
So then now I'm like, hey, I can't do this right now in this season and I need to, you know,
Yeah.
I need to take a step back. So for me, that's boundary because then now I'm protecting if I see like my mental and
Right.
emotional health is deteriorating and I'm not being my best self, I need to be that self aware. So for me, that's also boundaries being like, hey, in this season, I can't do this right now. And I've had to do that since this year has started with something that is very dear to me,
Yeah.
and it really took a lot. I cried when I realized that's the decision that I had to make, like literal tears came and I was really upset, but I had to do that, and that's just even like, so I find I have been, like steadily improving in certain areas. So
Yeah.
I'm not where I want to be for
Right. Right.
sure,
Right.
but I can say that it's a work in progress.
Oh, I agree. I
What about you, Kathy?
I
Any
think
areas of your life
yeah.
that you think you currently need to
Oh yeah, that part
struggle?
of overextending oneself, um, really set stronger boundaries in
Mhm.
that area because I realize that sometimes what you may do for
Mhm.
individuals to
Mhm.
one extent, they in turn really and truly may not do for you
Right.
likewise, and
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
it's not saying that they have to. Please don't
Mhm.
get me wrong. It's
Mhm.
not saying that they have to because nobody's entitled to do it because it just
Right.
may be not their
Right.
personality.
Right.
It may just not be them. But then I realize too as well, out of the goodness of your heart,
Mhm.
you end up doing that. And then in turn, it's like, okay, well, you leave me high and dry. So then you realize, okay, you know what? Let me set a stronger boundary there so that I could avoid disappointment to it and then know who to actually overextend and go that next mile for. So I think entering into 2026, that
Mhm.
was one of the things that I set for myself,
Mhm.
just scaling back on
Mhm.
the extent to which you would go for certain people. I mean, for some people, it might sound harsh, but that is just the true reality sometimes of it, where it's
Right.
like, hey, to protect your own self
Mhm.
as well, that's a boundary I'm gonna be able to set. I'm gonna go this way and no further.
Okay. But that's true.
Hmm.
Accurate. Totally agree. But then also there's also another side where sometimes maybe it's our expectations.
Hmm.
And because of how we are,
Yeah, that's
sca-
what I said. Yeah, that's
yeah,
what I said.
it's like your love
Yeah,
language. Like if my love language
right.
is physical touch, then I can probably be touching, but then the
Exactly.
person's, and then sometimes too who you do it for, like you might bless this person, but it might not be that person that blesses you,
Yes.
so you
Yes.
have that. But
Yeah.
I mean, we want people to take advantage of us, not
That's exactly it. That's
yeah.
exactly it. So
So I
you
think
don't
that's where,
you
yeah.
don't overextend to that part
Yes,
because you
yes.
realize, hey, you don't
And taking that.
appreciate
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
appreciate what's being done.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it- it's probably even if you pull the rug a little bit, maybe they might realize, maybe they might
Right,
not. But at
right,
least for
right,
your own
right,
self,
right.
you're like, okay, hey, you know what?
Agree,
All right,
agreed.
we're gonna scale this back just a bit.
Right, right, right.
Mhm.
And how do you feel when someone ignores your boundaries?
Oh, disrespected.
Yeah, no?
Yeah, disrespected. Disrespected.
Yeah, that's the word that I would feel. I would like, you don't respect me? What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Especially if the individual knows. Because then there are some people that just might not know
Right.
that something is a boundary for you unless you
Right.
actually vocalize and communicate
I
that
was
that's a boundary.
Mhm.
You understand?
Because that could be it
So
too.
then
Sometimes
you
we don't
can't really,
communicate.
exactly. So then if you don't communicate it, then the individual just may not know.
Correct.
But
Correct.
if after it's
Yeah,
communicated,
and then still.
and probably a few couple
Oh,
times
yeah.
that you said it, then it's like,
Correct. Correct.
okay, one time you may have forgotten it a bit. Two
Yeah.
time it
Three
you
times
probably
strike you
still
out.
yes. Yes, my lucky number is 3.
Mm,
So
I
you
feisty. I like that.
so
Don't mess with cat
you
all in
know
2026. Okay.
so yeah, you realize and you be like, okay, if after 3 times you really don't get it, then
Correct.
you're just blatantly not respecting my
And then
boundary.
you got be put on the side in the corner.
Right.
But
Right.
would you say you respect other people's boundaries the way you would want them to respect yours?
I would say yes. I would say yes. Of course, going back to the same thing mentioned, if it's something that I am aware of that someone doesn't like or whatever is the case, that it's their boundary, then definitely I would do it. Just because I know I wouldn't like it for myself.
Of course.
So you
To
just
unto
don't do it onto
others.
others, you
So you
know?
have them to unto you.
Mhm.
The golden rule. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you would say you respect
Yeah.
people's boundary once it's communicated.
Of course, once it's communicated.
Yeah.
Because we are not mind readers.
Correct.
To
Correct.
know
Correct.
what is said and what is not. I think sometimes too as well. Maybe if you observe the person, you could
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another thing. If you take the time to observe them,
Mhm.
but then also still that communication is confirmation. Because then when
Yeah.
you observe it, it's
Correct.
like I guess kind of ish. But when you communicate it, it's firm, so you know for a fact.
Mhm. So communication is definitely key.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Definitely key.
definitely.
What what do you gain when you protect your peace? What do you gain when you protect your peace by setting your boundaries and saying no?
Mm-hmm.
Which
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what does Kathy gain?
Oof. I gain inner calm for sure. Like that inner wusa. Definitely. I would say emotional stability. You're not having your emotions all over the place, but your emotions are stable. Well, my emotions are stable.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say clarity as well. Um, Again, rest. Like seriously.
Right, because if you say no to something where maybe you actually have to do physical, you get rest. See, if you had said no, you could have gave Sunday nap. See that? Right there.
Speak the thing. Yeah, so just those are some of the things.
Right.
Your energy, it stays intact, like it's not off balance, but you just remain very calm and wusa. And for you, PG,
I would say I gain peace. Yeah. What do you gain
gain when
when
you
you protect
protect your
yeah,
peace.
peace? But similar to you though, similar to you. And there's something freeing, liberating
Yeah,
when you talk the truth. So if you don't want to do it, or if you can't,
yeah,
maybe you might want to, but you cannot. And you just be like, hey, and you feel light, you feel liberated. It's a burden lifted because you said no, I
yeah.
can't. And that's okay. So I would say I feel light. I feel like a
Right.
feather just blowing out the wind. Yeah. So yeah, I would say feeling light and liberated.
Yeah, those are good ones. Those are
Feeling
good
light
ones.
and liberated.
Those are good ones. I like those ones.
Yeah.
And how does saying no actually help you with your relationships in a healthy way? Like, how does that help you maintain healthy relationships?
Well, saying no sometimes can maybe even disrupt or end relationships, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But I think because you're clear.
Yeah.
You're clear, you're honest. Hey, this is it. So yeah, you're clear, you're honest, your mind is free, and
Yeah.
hey, at least I told you.
Mm-hmm.
So then we can, where I stand,
Right.
where I stand, I know where you stand, and
I agree.
we can
I agree. That mutual respect.
Yeah, that mutual respect. So you might not even agree,
Mm-hmm.
but at least, hey, if you can please respect my no, respect that I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think maybe even in the beginning you might feel a little
Of
salty.
course, of course.
Then it might feel a little funny, but then after you might be like, but at least she was honest. That's what you see happen with a lot of people. They're like, but she's thing, but at least she was honest, and I could
Mm-hmm.
respect that. You always
Right.
hear people say that.
No, I
So
agree.
I
I
think
agree.
yeah. What about you?
No,
How does say no?
you said it right there, PG. It helps with that mutual respect and that understanding too as well. It also helps to see which relationships are really for you
Right, right,
and
right.
may not be for you based on the other individual's actions or response
Mm-hmm.
to your no. So then you'd be like, okay, this one I know where to put you in what compartment to put you. The other one I know where to put you in a
Right,
different
right, right.
compartment.
Right.
So you kind of
Mm-hmm.
put those different
Yeah.
relationships in different.
Compartmentalize. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
No, I have a so you said that you are like overthinking in one of our previous episodes, right?
Right.
That you're an overthinker and so on. No, for me, I'm an over explainer,
Mm.
right? I'm an over explainer. So I feel like when I say the no, I have to explain,
Right. Right. Right.
you know? And sometimes I try to dig a little deeper, like, why? Do you feel the need to over explain when you say no? Is that a challenge? Like, no, I can't
Mm-hmm.
because, XYZ, we can't just like, there's a saying that said no is a full sentence,
It is a full sentence. It is a full
but
sentence.
I ain't reached there yet. Right? But what
Mhm.
about you?
There are
Do you feel the
it's
need to
an area
explain?
of growth for me,
Mm-hmm.
I would say,
Mm-hmm.
because then there are certain instances where I would be reminded by loved ones, okay, you don't have to explain. And then it's like the
Yeah.
next time I'll be like, okay, you know what? Just remember you don't have to explain. So it's a process of it. Because I found myself doing that too sometimes of
Mm-hmm.
trying to explain simply because you want the
Yeah.
person to understand, you want them to be on the same page, you want them to know it's not that you really didn't want to, but this is the reason why. You hope that they don't have any hard feelings, and the list goes
Yeah.
on and on. But like you said, not everyone also deserves an explanation too as well. There are some people and some situations where, having to explain the no may be appreciated.
Right, right.
But overall, you don't have to explain your no. Like no is no, you know?
I know. I'm a work in progress. I have a challenge with that still.
Yeah.
But at least I'm learning. I'm saying it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
with
Progression.
a little explanation on the side. But I for me, I think it's the fear of being misunderstood
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and the fear of conflict. I have my one of my personal things is, like context is king also.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want to give context,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because sometimes without context there could be a lot of misunderstanding, etc. So it's a combination of things like
Yeah.
fear of being misunderstood. I hate being misunderstood. Like I hate being misunderstood.
But if you gave all of the proper necessary details and someone misunderstands, is that your fault? No.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But me, no, I still take it personal. I still take it on myself. Like,
Okay.
it's just my process. I
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah.
feel like, you can explain, you can articulate, because sometimes, communication,
Mm-hmm.
but you think you've communicated, you've
Right.
articulate, and you hit all the points that you learn in school, of
Mm-hmm.
effective communication.
Right.
And then you just feel like, I don't know, I just feel bad.
Okay.
It's not my burden to carry, but I do.
Okay.
And
Understood.
I don't know why, but
Understood.
yeah, working on that still, working on that still.
Okay.
Yeah, that's still. Yeah, Jesus, we gotta work on that area, but
Progression, PG.
yeah,
Progression.
yeah,
Progression.
progression, not
Progression.
not perfection.
No, that's about
Yeah.
progress. Progress. We all progress in so many different ways.
Yeah.
So,
Sometimes we just have setbacks,
yeah,
you know?
which happens.
Mhm.
Which happens.
Yeah. That's a good one though. The
Just
question
keep
that
going
a
forward.
question that you asked there. I
Keep
felt
going
that in
forward.
my soul. Here on Soulful Reflections.
Lord. So do you think someone can have boundaries
Uh-huh.
if they never say no? Do you think that
No,
someone can have
no,
boundaries if they have never said no?
no,
Okay.
just no.
Okay. Why
Because
why not?
um so let me see if I could use an example, right? So your boundary, your personal boundary could
Mm-hmm.
be I need to rest. I need to relax. I've been too busy. My body is right now, da 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 da. So you need to rest, which means you need to maybe not do certain things that you used to do. So if you used to go out on the
Mm-hmm.
weekends or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you want to scale back a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then no, your friends might come. Somebody might come like, hey, let me do this, da da da
Right,
da da.
right, right.
You know, you need to tell them no, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
So I that's an explanation. That's an example to explain why I said I personally I don't think
Yeah.
you need to say no in order to maintain. It's like also like a house with walls around it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the boundaries are the walls, but the gate is a no. So they can maybe jump the wall and so, but the gate, like when you
Mm-hmm.
open the gate now, you give like free access.
True.
You give the access willingly.
Mm-hmm.
So the gate is kind of like your no. So you're like, no, stop right there. You cannot enter
Mm-hmm.
without me giving you permission.
True.
That's the best way that I can
Put it?
put it into an example.
Okay.
So I don't think you can have boundaries without saying no.
Okay.
What do you think, Kathy?
So I'm gonna twist it a different way.
Mm-hmm. Twisted gal, twisted.
Just because we're having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I agree with you,
Mm-hmm.
and I would think or say this part, and you
Mm-hmm.
could also feel free to
Sure.
think, share your thoughts on that
Mm-hmm.
too. I think someone can have a boundary set in their mind of something that they may not want, but it's not set. Because remember,
Break that down for me.
we said in the beginning that boundaries are the limits that you set. So in your mind, you probably have like a limit of something that you probably don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But then no is the action of actually setting it,
Mm-hmm.
putting it into play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I agree with what you said that
I listen, I
somebody
listen.
somebody may not have their boundaries set because they didn't communicate the no, because
Mm-hmm.
the no is the action word. But then it can be in their mind. Not saying that it's realistically a boundary. It can probably be termed as a preference or a dislike.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, I'm just thinking of it that type of way. Is that something that can be said? I mean, just a thought. Just a thought. For conversation's sake.
Yeah. Because the thing is, so even if so you have it in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the fact is that with boundaries and stuff, you're dealing with people,
Uh-huh.
so which means you have to communicate it. Or maybe you can even communicate and be like, boy, I need some rest tonight. Maybe let's say I tell you, boy, Kathy, I need to start to rest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Doing too much,
Right.
feeling my body and I need to rest and whatever. But even though I communicate that to you, you might still say, well, PG body got this thing going on. Like, so then
Mm-hmm.
I need to come back and be like, no, Kathy, I
So
can't.
you set the boundary with that.
Yeah. The
So
no.
you set it with
Yeah.
the no.
Yeah. So
But if you don't set it with the no, could that still be that you have a limit, but it's just not communicated through your no?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I agree with what you said, not
Yeah,
PG. I agree that, like people having their
They're going deep.
boundaries set
Mm-hmm.
has like a no level to it. But in my head, I'm like, okay, without the setting of it, can the boundary just still be there, but not put into place without the action
Like
of
put
saying
into
no?
right. So I guess no is like the action.
Right.
so to speak. So yeah, so you can have your boundaries, but how effective is it if you don't,
Aha.
so you can have your own,
Ah.
we getting somewhere, getting some,
Aha.
yeah. So you can have your boundaries, yes, but it's not effective.
There we
I
go.
get you. Beautiful. Love that. So what you did there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
for
True.
reflections,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I thought about that. Thought
Because
about
I
it,
think a lot
especially
of
Shirley.
people do.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe then a lot of people may actually do have their boundaries, but it's not effective because maybe they don't even know how to communicate it as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think a lot of people know their limits, know what they whatever, but maybe yeah, I saw what you did there. Good one. Good stuff.
Just thought provoking question, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that.
Just throwing it in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But I like your response of it not being effective. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 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 Yes.
But what I must say though, I think I don't know if it's with our generation,
Yeah.
like boundaries was just so hard because maybe there were none, and you're growing up, your parents say, do as I say, and you know how that old school Caribbean parenting goes. So it was like that. But if I would like to interject here and say what I'm finding
Yeah.
with the younger, like, let me use Gen Z.
Yeah. Yeah.
All my children, I'm in a Gen Z bracket. And then also, I've read a few articles
Mm-hmm.
with the Gen Zs. They are strict on their boundaries. They will communicate it.
I love it.
They will, and they are unashamed. They are confident. And I mean, even, okay, I think they need a little balance, but even in the workplace, they ain't taking crap from nobody. You talk to them too. This is like real life complaints from entrepreneurs here in St. Martin and also around the world.
Yeah.
I heard that, like, you talk to them too tough, too tight, they ain't even gonna tell you they ain't coming back tomorrow, which I find they shouldn't do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just saying they are like, don't talk to me like this. Like, that's it. I'm not accepting this.
I like that they, from a young age like that they
Young age.
understand the importance of
Young
setting the
age.
boundaries.
Yeah.
I agree with you too as well, in terms of having the balance. So, probably, well, I don't know how that gonna be done. Like, that they need to be taught, that they need to be taught somehow.
They will quit a job fast. They will quit a
Yeah,
job fast.
they probably need to be taught that.
They will quit a job fast. They don't care.
But I like the fact that they grasp it early. Because like you said, going back to our generation, it may have been later on in life that we realize that.
Yeah.
But then for
Very late.
them to realize it
Too late. Mm-hmm.
from an early time, they just
Yeah.
probably need that molding.
Yes. That's it right there. That's it
That
right there.
molding.
That molding. Yeah. Because I could tell you, my kids ain't afraid to tell me what's on their mind, how they feel about things. But we cultivated that though.
Mm-hmm.
In our home. We cultivated that you have a voice. Once you're
Yeah.
not disrespectful,
Right.
we cultivate that.
Okay.
That was cultivated as well, for them to
Yeah.
also speak up and that, their feelings matter and so on. And but yeah, boy, they hard and strong and they will just, you're not gonna talk to me like that. And they will communicate it and they're very even my little 14-year-old daughter, she's like that and she's like unashamed, unapologetic. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's something that I noted and I
Yeah,
wanted to, so I'm learning from them, about the boundaries. And of course, we're there to mold them and let them balance it a little bit. But
correct.
the way that they're just so bold and bold about it, so confident about it, because they're not, well, my experience, they're not rude with it, but they would just tell you straight. Yeah, they just
Yes,
tell you straight.
some can be rude.
Yeah, some can be rude. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure there are.
But
You
goes
gave
back to
ways.
as well, being able to mold
Yeah.
them too
And I
as
think
well.
that's what maybe some of them don't have to is
Yeah,
that
that
molding.
molding. Like it has its place.
Yeah.
There's a certain way, or it has its way of how to do it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, that was a good conversation. I like that.
know,
Yeah.
I did.
Boundaries and the art of saying
They
no.
know. They
They
go
go
hand in
hand
hand
in hand.
to be effective.
Hand in
Hand in hand.
hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Or hand in hand. Hand in hand.
Oh, PG, that was good. So we did have a good conversation here today. A really good
Yeah.
topic. A really good
Really good
topic.
topic.
some thought-provoking questions.
Yeah, for sure,
that
for sure.
that we ask each other, but we just hope that everyone becomes more enlightened,
Yeah,
and that
for sure.
they not be afraid to set those boundaries for
And
themselves.
communicate them.
Yeah, yeah,
Communicate them. Say the no so they can be effective. But you can say the no in a
yeah. In a
nice
nice way.
way. Yeah, in a nice way.
In a
You can say.
nice way.
And also sometimes you just need to say no. Full stop. No. But ask the Lord for wisdom to direct you when to just say the no like that, right? Because we maintaining relationships, relationship management are important. So yeah, so just remember that,
I
right?
agree. I agree. I agree.
Well, we've come to the end
Of
of
another
another
episode.
episode. Yes. Right? And we're gonna leave, of course, with something with
Our soulful seed.
soulful seed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a thought that you can ponder. We hope that it encourages you, motivates you, and really make you reflect. Right?
Yep.
So our soulful seed for today. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Boundaries protect the garden of your soul. Saying no is not rejection of people, it is protection of purpose. Every time we say no to something that drains us, we say yes to the life that God intended for us.
Nice.
Now, a little scripture we're going to end because, I tell her, everything in the Bible, everything in the Bible. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Matthew 5, verse 37.
Yep.
Right? And I really like where it says that saying no is not the rejection of people because sometimes we may feel like
Yeah.
we're rejecting the person, or sometimes the person themselves may feel like we're
Yes,
rejecting them.
correct.
But it is protection of
Purpose.
purpose.
I like that.
You know?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
That
that.
one, that line resonated with me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think too that's maybe one of my things where I over explain. You don't want them to feel rejected. You don't want them to feel bad. It ties into people pleasing a little bit, I guess. But it's protection of purpose. I like that.
I agree.
I like that.
I like the soulful seed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that has been
Yeah.
today's episode. We thank you so much for joining with us.
Yes.
And we hope that you stay soulful until next time.
Bye.
So I just only wore pants up to today. So I had a little bit of a struggle because I was like, as a Christian now, I mean, I don't know. You know how the older people are saying that points of parable. So I had a little struggle with that. But me and the Lord, we worked it out. Not because at the same time, I understood that modesty is not just depriving yourself of looking nice. It's about knowing when you show up that God is represented and that you're comfortable because the Holy Spirit is not being disturbed.
Right.
Thank you for sharing this space with us.
If today's reflection resonated with you, we'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Until next time,
Keep nurturing your soul.
and keep planting seeds of wisdom and love.